Hello everyone, so here's the best loadout you can use in the game right now. I call this my Thermite loadout. You should have this set up in all your 10 loadouts so you'll never lose another ranked match ever again. It's a new season, a new meta, and a new weapon in the game, and I'm just as confused as everyone on what to use after both the QXR and the BIZON got a nerf, but I have a pretty good idea as of what you can expect on ranked matches and tournaments moving forward. Nonetheless, it's actually a breath of fresh air because there's actually a sense of balance in the game right now while everyone's still sleeping on the Holger. I'm Kith and I stream every day on Trovo and on YouTube, so if you're up for some chill streams, come in and follow me on the links down below. If you want more of this type of content, help us reach 2,000 likes on this video to help with the YouTube algorithm. I'm going to show you my potential go-to loadouts and guns for this season, as well as some bonus builds that didn't make it to my loadouts, mainly due to personal preference, and also to prevent you from pulling out your pitchforks and commenting why a gun that you like isn't in my 10 loadouts. For the first loadout, I'm equipping the MSMC for maps where it's mostly close quarters combat. This loadout will be used for rushing and controlling closed areas. If you'll notice, with my loadouts, you'll either see me rocking a melee weapon or a pistol as my secondary for times I want to play fast and versatile. For my operator skill, Annihilator will be my choice for most loadouts, but you'll see Death Machine and Gravity Spikes. You can run Sparrow as well, as that's what some pros use. For my lethal and tactical equipments, I run Frag Grenade and Smoke Grenade. You might be thinking, why not Thermite? I quit using Thermites because they're too weak and they stick to everywhere. As my perks, a good combination for rank that you'll see in most of my loadouts will be Lightweight, Quick Fix, and Dead Silence. For the attachments, this build is for having an easier time with the vertical recoil, extending range so you can challenge some mid-range gunfights if you need to. No stock is there to preserve movement, and 36 round mag for extra bullets. With the QXR nerf, this has the potential to become the meta for close range SMGs. It's really high fire rate and it's fairly easy to control. Initial spray is what makes it shine, along with its damage output. Not only that, it brings me back to 2019 Season 1 vibes, where everyone was just running MSMC. Like the Fast and Furious franchise, it's making its way back to the family. And by family, I mean meta. QQ9 was in the top 3 of the best SMG conversation, and clearly in Season 4 it was completely outshined by the recently nerfed guns, the QXR and the BIZON. This loadout is for when I want to practice my OBJ skills while being able to switch it up to slaying and securing kills for my team in solo rank. For the rest of the loadout, it's pretty much the same, but in here I'm using a karambit because the erase sound of it just sounds so cool. Attachments? I got you. The thing about family is that even if you get separated for a bit of time, when you get back together, everything's still the same. That's why I'm still using the same range build from Season 3. You can build this into an aggressive SMG, but I very much prefer this setup because it feels like it's family. The QQ9 might be making its way back as the best SMG you can use for comp. Comable Japan pros are back into using it, as well as some players from Garena. If you're still sleeping on what's left of the OP guns in the game, well, you're missing out on the Holger. Looking at this loadout, it's for a more passive playstyle, supporting your team and holding power positions while holding a certain area. You can convert this LMG into an AR or even an SMG. While it's a versatile weapon, I prefer using it as an LMG, knowing that it's comparable to the 2020 Season 3 S36. I'm gonna abuse it and beam people from medium to long range. For my secondary, I'm using FHJ, as persistent users are still around to drop sentry guns, stealth choppers, and VTOLs. For my tactical equipment, I'm going with trophy systems to protect me from enemies' unlimited thermites. Today I'll give you 2 builds. The first one's my LMG build, prioritizing BSA, vertical recoil, ADS speed, and visibility, hence the optic equipped. You might be wondering, wow, no monolithic suppressor? You don't need it. Tactical suppressor will be better for preserving bullet spread accuracy, but if you have the mythic Holger, maybe you can put on granulated in place of the red dot and put monolithic in. For the second build, this is the best AR conversion you can run while being able to compete with SMGs. You can also use Cygnus SMG build, I'll link his video down below. You might want to stop sleeping on this gun because you can literally have 3 Holger setups in your loadouts and they would be effective on their own. Take advantage of it before it gets nerfed and another gun completely takes over the meta. You read that right? Not the ASM-10. The ASVAL is one of the best ARs you can use right now and beam people from range. You can use this to hold power positions, occupy hardpoints, and compete against the close range meta. Its high fire rate, good damage, accuracy, and easy handling is good for slaying enemies. For this loadout, I'm running a deagle as my secondary and a smoke grenade as my tactical equipment. This build prioritizes range and accuracy while sacrificing a bit of mobility, but I kid you not, when I tried ASVAL with this build, I regret not using it earlier. It's also one of the weapons you can use in competitive as an AR, and that's why it's making its place on my loadout. Not only that, the built-in suppressor sounds so cool, one of the reasons why I like using it. The PP survives and lasts another season despite it receiving a ranged nerf. It is still the same, easy to use, low recoil SMG that's effective depending on how you build it. You can still beam people, but you will not kill as fast as the Season 4 BIZON. The balance they did is good, but I still see people utilizing this SMG. For my secondary, I use the FHJ together with trophy systems as my tactical equipment because I intend to play passive with this gun while being able to push objectives if needed. For my attachments, I didn't really change much, but I am running the skeleton stock for some strafe speed. If you don't want to suffer too much from penalties of the large caliber ammo, you could go with the granulated grip tape or an extended mag if you want, making sure you aim at the hitboxes that will deal more damage. This can still be used as a weapon for newcomers in the game, as well as a weapon you can aim train in the game with. It has the potential to be still used in comp, but I think you will see this used more in ranked for players who have difficulty in controlling recoil. If you have seen the latest Call of Duty Masters, or if you live and play in the Garena region, you know that this is something you need to have in your loadouts. KRM-262 still might be the best shotgun today and is still relevant to the meta for a long time now actually. This loadout obviously is for when I want to use shotguns and have fun in the game. I don't use shotguns that much, but I use it to challenge myself in the game when I get bored of using other guns. I use the katana as my secondary for this loadout because, like I said, I use this for fun and I like running around dicing people as well as smashing their faces with gravity spike. Smokes allow me to blind the enemy and run around to spots in the map I want to get to. Like everyone, I'm still using the same build since there hasn't been much changes to shotguns and it is still very much effective in getting those close range kills. Speed up kill allows you to run faster each time you take down an enemy and is very helpful for gunfights where you encounter more than one enemy. The KRM-262 might take up the close range meta because with enough practice, this shotgun will be very OP, especially with good movement and perfect aim. Another thing that would be perfect is that if you like this video to help us reach 2,000 likes for today, go on, click it. I try to be a well-rounded player, so obviously I need to run a sniper class in my loadouts. I rarely play SMD because I prefer having fun in respawns, and I actually practice my snipes in both domination and hardpoint as well. Both are very fast-paced games, and if you practice there and transfer to SMD, the game will be very slow for you, giving you the ability to react quicker. For my perks, I am using toughness to decrease flinch for those times that I hardscope, and trophy for when I'm holding a power position. I have not one, not two, but 3 sniper gunsmith builds for you. Even after the nerf, it seems like everyone still uses the 3 snipers just as well. DLQ is nice, but unless you have the red action or the legendary version of the gun, the scope in time feels clunky to me. Locus is still decent and scopes in a bit faster now because of the skeleton stock buff, and what might be the best sniper in its class, the Arctic 50, is my sniper of choice this season. It has the best idle sway and breath hold time in all of the snipers, and it's semi-automatic so you can spam it if you can control the recoil. Nonetheless, whatever you choose between the 3 will serve you well if you practice hard enough. I run Deagle as my secondary because of personal preference and the possibility of hitting a one tap to the head until a certain range. This build is mainly for boosting range and having extra bullets. A secondary is important to have something to switch to quickly whenever you run out of bullets so you can finish the kill or run away and hide to reload your primary weapon. We're now heading over to loadouts of guns that I like using, and for this loadout I'm gonna be using an SMG that I can use to be versatile, kinda like how people use the BIZON. I will run a knife and a smoke grenade because I'll run around a lot with this loadout, and for the SMGs I will be actually switching from both the Rust and the Cordite from time to time. The first time I used this Rust build in Season 5, I was surprised how good it performed, and I liked the movement as I run and strafe with it as well. As for the Cordite, I just like reminding myself of the pre-Gunsmith meta, and with this build, together with the 80 round mag, I can either laser people in the map or spam hipfire while I strafe. You might have to try this with the new Gung Ho perk, and no, you didn't hear that from me. I didn't say that. You can go with any of these SMGs and you'll be able to perform against the current meta. These are what I call the all-reliable SMGs. We just did the SMG class, now heading over to my AR class. I run the LK24 because it's one of my favorite ARs in the game, and in Season 5 it still lasers and is still very viable as main AR. If for some weird reason you don't like the LK24, try out the BK57 instead. In this loadout I run FHJ as my secondary to take down score streaks and trophy to protect me in power positions. I also use Death Machine as my operator skill to act as a human sentry gun, and I use High Alert as my blue perk. For the builds, here's a passive LK24 Gunsmith that still ADS's pretty fast, and I put on the 40 round mag because sometimes the base mag isn't just enough for me. As for the BK57 class, here's a setup you can use that's built for range, and if you somehow don't like the iron sights on this gun as well, you can take out the mag attachment and use an optic. Both of these assault rifles will be effective in the current state of the game, and I use these to have fun when I get bored of the meta weapons. As for my 10th loadout, I'm using one of my favorite guns from the past seasons, the Peacekeeper. Take note, this is an AR that has the fire rate of an SMG and has the potential to move like an SMG. The only downside is that the horizontal recoil is intimidating for some people, so they tend to use other guns or assault rifles as well. The default iron sight is also not the best, that's why it's harder to challenge people beyond medium range. This build is what I used from Season 4, and it will still be effective in the current season. This will give you SMG-like sprint and strafe speeds, so you can use this to rush people and challenge gunfights from range. If you have the time, practice its recoil and use it in rank. You will not regret it because the Peacekeeper is one of the guns I wish to see more in lobbies. Before anyone gets upset, here are some builds you might like that didn't make it to my 10 loadouts. That's it for today's video. If you're looking to try out any of these builds or loadouts, leave a like to let me know so I can make more videos like this where I go over the best loadouts you can use each season. Make sure you follow the channels on Trovo and on my live channel linked down the description. For today's question, I want to know, what's your main weapon in Season 5 of COD Mobile? Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.